Mic check, mic check. Mic check.
Welcome to the Denver Coliseum in Denver, Colorado. We are here for Draw 2 of the 2023 USA Curling Women's National Championships. You see the wide shots of the arena. Drone provided by Cameron Rittenauer. And now live inside the stadium. This is Tyler George on the call, joined by Doug Kaufman in the booth tonight. Doug, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
We see the standings so far in the tournament. Team Anderson, Peterson, Rhyme, and Strouse at 1-0, and teams Bear, McMakin, Scheel, and Workin 0-1 so far in the tournament. Tonight's matchup, Team Workin versus Team Strouse for our feature game. Workin looking to get their first win of the tournament. Strouse looking to get to 2-0. Here are our lineups. For Team Workin, lead Christina Lammers, second Ann Podol, third Anya Normando, and skip Rachel Workin, coached by Sean Murray. And for Team Strouse, alternate Susan Dutt, lead Rebecca Rogers, second Sydney Mullaney, third Anna O'Hara, and skip Delaney Strouse, coached by the former Courtney George, Courtney Benson, my sister. Doug, should be a fun one tonight. Both these teams like to have a lot of rocks in play. And Team Strouse, with that 1-0 start, carrying momentum over from the World University Games where they took the bronze just a week and a half ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to a great game tonight. Both teams deserve to be here, so it'll be great to see how this plays out.
We've talked a lot about the bottom half of our Nationals fields being so much more competitive than we've seen in past years, too. These younger teams like Team Strouse, on the men's side, Team Casper, Team Sampson, and now Team Workin coming up through the ranks, too. You're seeing way more competitive games with the bottom of the field to the top, and expect to see the same throughout the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, totally agree. Both, like you said, the men's and the women's side, fields are getting closer together. Games are more exciting. A lot of rocks in play, great coaching, and great learning.
Even the men's draw this afternoon, we saw Team Dunham with an upset victory over Team Dropkin, and Team Sampson taking John Schuster to an extra end. John had to make a tap to the forefoot for the win, a difficult shot to avoid going to 0-2 after his first two games. So makes for a much more fun tournament to watch, and for the games to call, having this high level of competition from top to bottom.
High level, and yeah, every game there's no gimmies in the field on either side. So the teams that are going to learn the ice and play better throughout the week, they're going to be around for the playoffs.
Doug, it should be mentioned that your son Connor was in the booth this morning with me and did a fantastic job, very knowledgeable. We try to give you a little bit of credit for his curling knowledge, but now you have big shoes to fill, and bragging rights at stake.
There is so much pressure in every event in curling, whether it's playing, preparing the ice, or now it appears announcing. Yes, so hoping to show myself well.
Our feature game tonight is on sheet C. Have had a call on one of the games from this sheet earlier in the week. Team Workin will have the hammer in the first end by way of winning the last shot draw. So Team Strouse will lead us off with yellow stones. We always talk about, Doug, with the first game of the tournament kind of being the feeling out game for all these teams, and not trying to put too much emphasis on win-loss when you're just trying to get used to the conditions in a long competition. So after a warm-up game here, both teams, I think, will be a lot more focused on the result now, really trying to get a W, especially for Team Workin, trying to avoid going to 0-2 in a 7-game tournament.
For sure, and if they find that the ice conditions are similar to what they had in Game 1, then they'll be a little bit more confident that they're going to get that consistency out of it. So I agree. I think they'll go right into it.
2, 3,
Be aggressive.
3.
First rock on the way for Team
4.
Strouse.
Okay, for 4. Coming down. 3. 15 seconds.
Okay, go ahead, Anna.
Lead Rebecca Rogers, throwing this one with tight center guard and ends up perfect, splitting the center line. And with the no tick rule, that rock will have to remain on the center line for the first 5 shots of the end. Here's Christine Lammers for Team Workin. Doug, looks like they're playing into the rings with this first draw, trying to play things fairly open, maybe get used to the ice conditions before they mix it up a little more.
Absolutely. Yep. Just go to the wing here and put Team Strouse to a decision early here if they can make this shot.
Rock carrying all the way through the house in the back will make the decision a little bit easier for Team Strouse.
Right around, yeah, 14-5.
Delaney looks as though she's going right in with this draw. Rogers throwing the out-turn come-around draw. A little wobble on both the first two for Rebecca.
8,
But
9.
just getting loose.
8,
The results all that matters.
Okay,
I don't think I can throw a good shot without having a little bit of a wobble. If I don't wobble, I get a little worried about it.
8, 14 flat.
I think just leave it.
Yeah.
Going to get a little bit of finish on this stone to bury. Don't really want to carry it too far behind the tee line, but that's a good throw. Mostly buried on the back of the button.
You want hacker board?
Take a look at
Board?
the rest of tonight's games. On sheet A, Baron McMakin. Sheet B, Anderson Shield. And sheet D, Rhyme and Peterson. One of the things that we've seen so far, Doug, is that the games on sheets A and B have been a little more straight side, swing side than C and D, where everything is curling more towards sheet A, towards the wall on that side, and straighter going away from it. We'll see if that holds for sheet C in our future game.
Yeah, I know the players are very aware of that, and they will be taking notes on all of these games.
I'm drawing.
And seeing, if the ice changes at all during the competition or stays relatively consistent.
A nice hit and roll to the outside there by
Little wide.
and see the aggressiveness of Team Strouse. This is nothing new for those of us that have watched this team, ignoring that biter in the back of the 12-foot and immediately going towards the center of the sheet, playing the come-around draw.
Definitely showing that they're comfortable with the speed of the ice and the curl by making this call and being aggressive going around that center.
I think just a little light.
Ended up being a little on the light side, but they were also sweeping that rock to curl, thinking they had plenty of room, and actually ends up touching the guard. Second, Anya Normando.
Closer to 9-5.
Just looking for a hit and stick, I believe, on this line.
Yep, push.
Yeah, dangerous to leave that yellow rock where it is, so.
Hard push. Keep pushing.
Rock is holding a little bit, trying to get it to curl, and ends up making the hit, but rolling off. Strouse changing gears now and deciding to hit this stone in the back. A little more cautious to start the game. Delaney with her first throw of this game.
Whoa, then. Whoa.
Or second throw. That was the come around on the previous one, too.
Yeah, if she makes the hit and stick here, then Team Workin's going to have a couple of choices that they could do here.
One does roll off paint, so Rachel Workin looking to go right back to the outside of the sheet, playing this end clean.
Got a potential jam rock there that's not in the ring, so could make use of that.
Also had the option to peel the center if they were trying to play it completely open, but good opportunity to get draw weight, play to the outside, and there is a jam rock, as you mentioned, Doug, in the back, so. Throwing to the wing, trying to get T or better.
Yep, one of you behind. Yep, we'll finish.
That's well thrown, well swept.
Nice throw.
May see some trading hits on the outside now if they stick around. And Delaney Strouse has the broom down immediately for that shot.
Yep.
And not a bad thing to play with a little pace when you're playing open early in the game and save time for later.
Absolutely. Bank some of that time that you may need later.
Whoa,
Team Workin
whoa!
probably very happy to be playing out to the wings here.
Push for anything. Anything.
Yeah, this really has to curl to get a piece. It does come up enough to get all the way to nose. Looked like maybe it was a little softer than expected, which ended up being a good thing.
Yeah, that worked out well. That came that played really well the last half.
So again, trading hits on this shot.
Little tight.
Really wants to hit and stick in the rings here. Wants to force Strouse to keep playing to the outside there. She does not want to roll out here.
Well,
And Bortles' intern pass looks like should be just fine.
shoot, my bad. 9-5 right on.
Does roll off the paint though. So now an opportunity for Strouse to go back to that draw around the center guard. Sticking with the intern side. And this is the turn that we've seen be a little bit straighter on the other sheets. And keep an eye and see if that out turn going down, if and when it's played, ends up getting a little more curl than the intern side.
Yeah, even though the side might be a little bit straighter, they've thrown a few rocks here. Getting comfortable with the speed here, so look to see her be pretty dialed in on being able to get this around the guard.
That line looks very good on this one. And this is really where Team Strouse excels, is draw game, especially to the center of the sheet.
Like the run.
Great spot there.
And perfectly thrown, perfectly placed by the sweepers. Always good early in a game to make something like that, to get that confidence going forward, whether it's a finesse shot or a draw or something like that. So Anna O'Hara has to feel good about that start.
Especially if you're used to playing aggressive. Boy, there's nothing like making that nice aggressive draw around one of yours.
That's fine.
Just goes right into your kind of team strategy.
Well, that was either going to be run back or peel to open it up. So does clear the guard, open that Strouse counter in the 4-foot. Delaney Strouse will throw the intern and try to replace that guard.
I like
Yeah, the first one she wants to guard. She may decide on her
I was gonna say
next one to go ahead and come in the rings.
Probably good.
Try to force one.
Think less, Anna. Less.
They did cut the broom
Yes!
down a little from where it was.
Okay, not that much. Okay, a little bit.
Was
Yeah.
Cut down a little too
Too
much.
much,
Now go back the other way. Well, that's good that she
Yeah.
knows exactly where she wants it to be. Sweepers calling 3 right out of hand. 3 being tight guard. That's what they're looking for.
I don't think we can go.
Looks like it might be starting to dig down a little bit.
Yep. Get this rock to curl a little bit.
Line getting better now. And that's a
Nicely
very
done.
good shot by Delaney.
Perfect.
Yeah. Almost.
A similar shot now for Rachel Workin. Like to make that run back if possible, but again, at worst, open it up.
Run again.
Yeah, even if
Really
she
fast.
makes a run
Yeah,
back
good.
here, that the rock she's throwing is going to be pretty close to the center line. And then Team Strouse will, if she does make the run back, will just go around the guard that's going to be here after.
Yeah, worst case for Team Strouse, looking like a good force opportunity. Here is Rachel Workin's first on the out turn run back.
Yep.
And does make the run, rolls a little to a corner. Very well played by Rachel.
Great shot. All right.
And good confidence builder for her starting this game.
Absolutely.
I feel like, yeah.
Well, and then on her last, at least she'll have a little bit
Slow
more
down
of the
a couple,
button
but
to draw to.
And we'll
Now
see
that-
this out-turn draw that we were waiting to see now.
There we go.
See if this will
14-5 should be close.
take a
Yeah,
little more
we were
curl than the
thinking
opposite
center,
side, or if
so-
it runs
14-3 forward across
Okay.
center.
the same.
I think we could go hard on a 14-5, but it'll definitely slow down a little bit when it does.
Yeah, I got 14-8 on Anna, so that's why I was thinking 14-5, but I'll throw 14-3.
Good discussion about the draw weight, what they're looking for. We expect the weight to come off of this one a little bit as it crosses the center line too.
Little tight.
Keeper's calling 7-8. We'll see if this turns over now. Yeah, there it goes. Now real tight to that guard. Looks like it's going to wreck.
Get around the guard. Uh-oh.
Not quite enough to bump it in the house, so likely a blank for Team Workin. But Doug, I definitely think we saw plenty of curl on that. So
Yes, we did.
we'll keep an eye on that and see if that is consistent throughout the game, that it's curling that much more. They didn't seem too concerned about it until
Yeah.
2/3 of the way down the sheet.
Yep, they'll talk about
I
that
don't know.
and
Can we slip that on?
put that in the memory banks for
Yeah.
further down
Is
the
it
road.
worth splitting? Yeah, let's try it.
It's a relatively makeable split opportunity.
I think we have to come
I think
this way, I
maybe
don't
they
know.
could get both in. Always a little tougher when they're on the corner. You run out of house when you're chipping that rock in.
Like a
For
back,
sure.
back
For
12,
sure.
back
You
line.
got that. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. It is there, but
guys like this?
not the easiest of shots.
Thinking back 12, back line.
I do like the aggressiveness. Team Workin
Yeah,
here
it's
may as
about
well
that for alpha.
give it a try if they think that they can get both on and find a cheap 2 with this last stone. It's a little farther away from the house and a little farther towards the wing than you'd like for an ideal split, but we'll see if she can make this maybe a back line through the house weight, catch a third of a stone. Should be very
That's fine.
close. This needs to get up a little bit, but
It's the curl.
looks like it may just
And if it misses, they'll just sweep it all the way through.
barely
Take the
goes
blank.
by.
No harm done.
Yeah, good attempt. You get the blank anyways. No issue there for Workin. So with the blank, after one end of play, Workin and Strouse tied 0-0, and Workin retains hammer. Start of the second end here in the feature game for the women's draw number 2. Team Workin and Team Strouse 0-0 after 1. And with the start of the second end, we'll talk a little bit about our sponsor once again, Warm Room Hero. Is your curling club website clunky and unworkable? Are you tired of your club relying on social media because your website just does not work for your members? Finally, the curling management software your club has been waiting for is here. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. A tight guard from Team Strouse to start the end. Looks like Rachel Workin is content to go right back to the wing. And I can't really argue with that strategy for Team Workin, Doug, because of how well Strouse plays to the fours and wants to junk things up in the middle. So Team Workin really trying to pull the game away from the center of the sheet, not let things get too congested in the center.
Yeah, try a little bit more risk reward if Delaney does decide to keep going around that center guard. That creates some opportunities. If she ever
13-9.
doesn't quite make that
Take a
shot
look.
perfectly, then Team Workin can try to generate a deuce that way.
Nice.
Sweepers were hammering that pretty good for a while, and well read. Stops in the back of the 12-foot, and not real surprised to see Delaney Strouse going right back to draw around the center guard. Rebecca Rogers, her first.
Pretty wide.
This
Got it,
should be
curl.
the side that gets a little more
It's
curl.
diving now. It's trying. If you go.
Definitely
Anna's if you
turning
go.
over pretty hard here.
Yep, hard Anna.
Line getting
Hard
much
for
better.
curl. Yep. She's just sliding full. Okay. I don't like
Still
hate
gets
the
to
release.
just about completely buried.
Really good.
Not bad at all.
Corner. Herman top's okay.
Little freeze called, maybe a little freeze tap. Move that back just a little bit as long as the line's good.
Yeah, they really can't see very much at all
7, 8.
with that rock, so
Nice,
opting
nice.
to
Oh,
follow the draw and play the freeze.
4.
push only.
Great about this line.
I'd like to
Start
push, but
turning
it needs to
over.
slow down on us.
They called back 4, Doug. I think it's a little more than that.
Yeah. Just out there a little bit because of it, too.
Okay, that's
Didn't
fine.
quite curl enough.
Doesn't end up in an awful spot with indirectly setting up a big end. You know, if that ticks over and rolls to the wing,
We can go
it's
there.
wide open, maybe even a
Freeze the
double.
back.
But now with that rock in the,
I mean, I don't
the
hate
back
that,
of
but
the
it's
12s,
just- Okay. Or that. I don't mind.
Decision making.
Okay.
Two red rocks in the rings with the hammer, so
and Team Strauss
Yep.
sticking with.
10-5.
Now they changed their mind.
Yep.
Looked like they were signaling for the
That's
draw for
easy.
a second, hitting the back one. I like the hit, just with the early game situation here, not letting them pile up too many counters.
I do too. I like this play.
Clean. Clean. Whoa.
This will be the side that does curl a little bit more.
Yep. Little bit. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
We roll this a little bit towards the center as well, and that's perfectly played. Very good shot.
Feel it.
Workin really doesn't want to let Strauss pile these rocks up in the center, and they're playing the run immediately with Anya Normandos first. Both teams really trying to dictate the action, play to their strengths.
Yep. Could get the lucky peel here.
Close.
Peeling the top, might be able to peel it into that yellow rock in the back of the rings.
Ends up just straight jamming and jamming
throw,
on
my
the
bad.
back one.
Name
So
right.
Center.
now Team
One.
Strauss firmly in control, sitting 3.
15-5.
The tight center guard, that guard is red, so
440.
Team Workin would be able to use it for a raise, but appears as though Strauss will put a second guard up, eliminate that possibility.
Whoa. Got a curl.
And Doug, with that rock being above
Line's
the
good.
tee line in the house,
Just one.
it's a lot safer play throwing the second guard than if it was behind the tee and allowing a freeze from your opponent.
Yep. And
Oh, we
so
got
they'll
it!
probably try to cover that right-hand side just a little bit so that it would be tougher for Team Workin to come down to it
Oh,
on
good,
the
Sid.
outturn side as well.
Good pair.
That's a very high one there. Mostly guards the red.
Yep.
Workin doesn't want any part of these double guards and is peeling once again. And as you said, Doug, maybe there's an opportunity to clip one of those stones in the back of the house playing it too, but peel is first option or first priority.
Love to make the double peel here, get both of those off of there.
Yep. All
This
right.
rock
Nice throw.
fairly close to maybe getting the back one.
Yep.
Oh, thought that rock was a little bit closer to the center line.
Yep.
So it does just make the single peel, and Strauss immediately puts the broom down for the guard again. I like the
Got it.
pace that Team Strauss is playing with, Doug. The only concern is getting too locked in on playing quick and repeating the shots over and over again when there may be another option. As of right now, it's the right call because the second guard is a good shot.
Whoa. Just a one if you can.
This one looks like
It's
it's
gotta move. but
fading
just a
out a
one if
little
you
bit, but
can.
now turning over.
Go, Bex.
Yeah, sometimes it's a
Go.
tricky deal. Playing fast is great, but as you said, you want to
Yep.
make sure you cover all your bases and make sure you're calling the
Whoa.
correct shot at the
Good.
same time.
And no problem with that one, right to the Columbia logo. Perfectly
Try and
guarding
catch 'em
up the
both.
red guard.
This way.
Okay.
Field.
Workin would love to lose both of these now that they're a little closer together. See if Ann Podol can clear both of those and open things up to make life easier by the time we get to skip stones.
Yeah, she's happy that the second rock as well is a red rock. There is an angle there where if she hits this, she may drive that red one back into the yellow on the top 4.
And does make the double peel and loses the back stone. Will it stay for second counts? Still just third, but much better than it was before. I believe there is a port that Workin could possibly come through, hit that number 1 counter, so I'm sure Delaney Strouse would like to bury this and maybe even poke out a little bit into that port and take that away.
Would be nice to cover that shot stone. Just need to cover a piece of it for it to be effective.
See if Anna O'Hara can wrap this around right to the center line. Waiting for it to curl, but I believe it will as long as the weight's okay on this line. Line's starting to get better now. Ends up coming all the way down to that rock. Now an interesting little stagger for Team Strouse. Sitting 3 and
It's okay. Perfect weight.
kind of takes that port shot away, Doug, and
Good call.
Rachel's now
Would you
switching
rather
up to
be
play
on the
the
nose?
run back instead.
Over there.
Effectively covered just enough of that back one there. Going to play the run here.
Good pair. The weight's just a little. It comes back good.
Poto looking for almost dead nose here to play this run back.
Hard, like,
Should run a little bit straighter on the out-turn side here. Just grazes by and ends up leaving the guard.
Ooh.
Kind of the worst case scenario for Workin
see,
there.
more curl.
Really hoping for it to get up to that line, but at some point you have to make that decision whether or not you can still roll it off, or I think Rachel thought maybe it still might get up enough to
Should we
clip
have
that
played more
stone.
control?
Yeah, she must have thought that it might curl up enough just to
we
tick
really
that
couldn't,
one,
never
because you're absolutely right. If
Maybe had
at any
a
point you
little bit
decide you're not
yesterday,
going to
but
be able to
moved.
curl enough, you want to be on that thing and get that guard off the center line as much as
Yeah.
possible.
And this shot now, so important to be precise about where you want to leave this stone. Already having that center guard up there, this needs to be tight at the least, possibly even all the way into the top of the 12-foot. But taking away that path, the biggest thing, and again, having your sweepers know exactly where you want this stone, not just throwing it to a line, but throwing it to a spot.
Yep. Needs to be precise here.
Line looks pretty good.
Not really touching it much. Must be a little bit heavy.
It's going
Oh,
to
here we
come
go.
up. It's dying now, too, so biting 8-foot on this line would be a really good spot.
That is a very good spot.
This is total control this end now for Team
Christmas
Strouse.
tree.
That's really well placed.
Yeah, it covers that. Not sure there's a port there, but it doesn't matter because
Yeah. At first I was
she's
like,
covered it
"Alright, I'm gonna
anyway.
freeze it," but the way it's like,
in turn doesn't really have much there. So
Well, the great thing about that spot,
I
too,
just went out
Doug,
pretty
is
hard and just kinda had
even
to-
if they do make this run back, the raised rock will not outcount that rock in the back 12s that's biting the 8-foot.
yeah, she really put that in a perfect position.
Yeah, you couldn't really walk that one down better. But the way these stones are lined up, there is an opportunity if Rachel Workin hits this just right, that all 3 of those yellows could go that are above the tee line.
saying something.
Very important shot here for Rachel Workin. She throws the high hard one very well. Needs this to get up a little bit. Now it is. Actually over curled. Kind of surprised him, I guess.
Same thing.
That took a little jump late, and now
Close.
Looks like maybe the same type of shot
Silver curl to her.
for Team
Yeah,
Strouse.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, not much on the out-turn side here, so she might be trying to cover the in-turn draw now.
Well, I'd be awfully tempted just to throw it exactly where that last one was.
Where that last one was pretty darn good. I guess you could make it a little bit more open and kind of half take away that draw as well.
Yeah, just looking at that port and trying to see if there's a way that Workin could come through, bump those around enough to even just give one. If you don't believe that's the case, then yeah, playing the draw a little bit wider and taking that draw path away from Team Workin is a good option. And again, another one where you have to be very precise about where you're leaving this and not just playing to a line. Delaney Strouse is last here in the second end. And if you are taking that draw path away here, Doug, you really can't go too wide.
Right.
As long as it doesn't over curl, you're in good shape.
Just through this weight. I think she wants it at that same distance, just a little bit wider.
Just barely.
It's definitely on a wider path. Just getting it to biting 8-foot would be ideal here.
Yep. I'll count that back red one. That's a great spot there.
That's pretty good.
Oh
Try
boy.
coming in here with like board. I think we can get to nose on the 5 and just give up 1.
I think if that curls a little more, it would have been better yet.
Or we could
I
try
would have
run
liked to
again.
see Strouse work and make that draw.
Yeah,
Now
I
you
like
see
the
that
board, I
these,
think. If anything else,
hear
we,
Rachel
like,
talking
rub
about
off
playing
the
board
edges.
weight and just getting to the nose of that rock that's on the center line. Very tricky shot, but with the way this curls, they are playing towards sheet A, the side that gets a little more
I'm
swing.
gonna board weight come around, let him have 1.
It's definitely there, but you have to
Can
be
maybe rub
very
off that
careful
yellow
with
if it
once
looks
this
like
gets
it's
close to
trapping.
the center line, this rock snapping up,
Yep.
believing the broom, making sure you get to it.
Yeah, you got to get through that port there, hitting either top rock, either the red guard or the yellow one in the top 8. Neither.
Yeah, if that rock curls another 2-3 inches, then the shot may not be there. It looked like a little outward momentum on the release there from Workin, trying to get this to turn over. If they can get to the inside and roll in and at least cut them to 2.
Make sure that gets out.
I don't think they did. That looks like a steal of 3 for Team Strouse. Very well played end from Strouse. They got a couple of half misses to help set it up, but the rock placement excellent there from this young squad. So after 2 ends of play, Strouse leads Workin 3-0. Beginning of the third end, after a extremely well-played end by Team Strouse, a steal of 3. They lead 3-0 over Team Workin here at the 2023 Women's USA Curling National Championships. Tyler George here with Doug Kaufman in the booth. And Doug, we're not surprised at all by Team Strouse's tactics. No fear, continuing to attack the 4-foot withdraws and capitalizing on opponents' mistakes.
Well, and when you have the precision to be able to put those rocks exactly where you want to, you can go ahead and do that. Put that center guard up and just start putting rocks around it.
There's a lot to be said for ability and confidence
Yes.
in the draw game. No lack of that either way for Team Strouse.
Yep, keep her moving.
talked a lot with
Line's nice.
my sister about this team and how they normally play
You're close,
games,
you're
and
close.
they attack with draws all day, and you live and die by the sword with that. But when it works out, you can see they hang crooked numbers regardless of whether or not you have hammer.
Yeah, they played a really solid end there in that second end. Put a lot of pressure on.
I'm close.
Strauss going, I believe, right back to
Oh, wait, 3.
another tight guard.
Just a 3.
Yep, put her first one in a perfect
Yep.
position, top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, curl.
Looking for this to be on the center line.
Okay.
Ends up showing half, but pretty good spot. And I agree with not getting too conservative early in the game, too, even after the steal of 3. So early in the game, you don't want to rest on your laurels. Allow a team to get back into the game just because you play conservatively now. Not that usually is an issue for this team.
Yeah, but you're right. 10 end games for national events. So
Plenty of room.
the normal 8 end game, you're playing defense for 6 ends.
push
Now
it
you're
if you
playing
can.
defense for 8 ends. That's a really long time.
Yep, really gotta push. Yep, gotta go.
Christina Lammers
Push.
playing
We're not
the
hitting yet.
out-turn
Gotta go.
come-around
Yep,
draw
yep,
into the
yep,
corner.
Yep.
Sweepers trying to finish this to bury as much as they can. Good piece of that rock still showing. Delaney Strouse putting the broom down for the out-turn, I would guess probably board to control weight hits.
Since that rock's up above the tee line a little bit, probably looking to roll to the center here.
Now this one was definitely a little wide out of hand. Don't think they're going to be able to turn this one over enough to get it there. So the miss by Mulaney will allow
Control.
Workin to try to open this up and maybe roll to the corner.
Couple good potential outcomes here. Hitting that center one, you might make the double on the yellows. You could roll for a second guard. Your one around near your corner. It's not fully buried.
A smart call by Rachel Workin to try to keep the shooter around too, not just play a straight peel or straight run. Doesn't quite get the desired outcome, but the idea definitely correct.
Yep.
Really saw that one run pretty straight there too, Doug. That didn't get much finish on it.
Yeah, that was that side you were talking about.
Whoa! Push!
This one a little wide out of hand again from
Close! Whoa!
Mulaney,
Straight!
but now
Straight!
got it to turn over and curling hard.
Whoa! Yep.
That'll sneak by the guard. Good adjustment there from Sydney Mulaney.
Yep, great weight too. Just enough to push it out. Get enough curl out of the rock. That was a great shot.
You're going to have misses, Doug. It's always going to happen. It's just a matter of how do you come back from it? What do you do on your next one? And a very nice adjustment there from Sydney Mulaney.
I've had a lot of practice at being down 3 after a couple early ends. So
10-5. 11.
Needs to move. 9-5. Close for line though.
Ormando now playing the hit, trying to roll possibly under the corner guard.
On top of the other one.
Doesn't look like it's going to get there, and instead will roll right in between.
Yeah.
Open look for Anna O'Hara.
yep. Once you hit the inside of this rock, roll to the center, roll past the center.
A little bit of a touchy line here too, Doug.
Yeah.
Really want to make sure that you don't get positive on this, and it's plenty of stick too from
Whoa!
Strauss.
Yeah, trying to cross face this one.
Push!
Trying to get this to curl.
Oh, sorry.
Jams, and that red rock
Side.
looks like it's going to spin out and
Got
spreads
some
that
stairs.
one
Oh, wait,
out to
it's
the
not.
opposite side too. see if both skips tighten those brooms up on that side of the sheet
Yeah.
as the game goes, too. Everything's been on the wide side going towards sheet D. Now, Ann Podol trying to play the out-turn come-around draw to the outside. At the very least, for team working, no real danger here. Only a
Let's come
couple of
back if we can. We
hangers
gotta
on
be.
the outside of the sheet and corner guard that they can
Let's
draw
wait.
around. Maybe they can find
Right
a
here.
2 or 3 here.
Yep, still early enough and in. Still can build it a little bit.
Yep, yep.
Should get a good finish
Thanks
here
for
at the
shot,
end.
though.
Yep. Okay. Shot.
Just bury a good chunk of that rock. Sits for shot.
12-5.
All right.
You got it. Nice and easy, Anna.
12-5 you're hearing. Probably pretty close to hack weight again. I just saw this line on the previous shot from Delaney.
I think I'd be a little bit tempted on this to go ahead and roll out of the rings here. I'm not sure she wants to stick around with this one.
At the very least,
Workin.
rolling center would be good. To freeze to.
11. 11.
Yes! Whoa, whoa.
11-3.
Gets by the guard. And we'll roll right to
Okay.
the 8-foot close to the center line. That's very well done once again.
Yep, good shot.
I was gonna roll just like
Really
that.
ideal spot to leave that off of the hit, too. That's good throw, good call.
Tighten
Team
you up in here.
Strouse, it's pretty good rhythm right now. Workin will play the same out-turn draw. Not as concerned about being shot rock as much as being buried. They should be able to still be shot and bury almost all that stone. Side of the 8-foot, close to the 12-foot.
Okay. Line's still quite a bit.
Like this to
Despite half.
finish up, but
half
starting
eight
to
if we
turn
can.
over.
Okay, that's fine.
Wants to be
See
shot
how
here.
far O'Hara can take this one. Strouse still sitting 2. Looking to spread things out a little bit.
My side 4.
Stay away from that corner
I was
guard.
like, not yours.
Wants to make sure she puts this rock in a position where if Team Workin was to try to go around that corner again, that they would not be shot with
here.
the shot. So she's looking to hit in the 8-foot on this one.
Yeah, I think.
Take play away from the corner.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, we can even be back 8. That's okay.
Okay.
Wouldn't mind taking even a little less broom just to make sure that this gets across the center line on this line. T back 4 type of weight is probably about where you want to be. A little behind the T line, eliminate the chance of some kind of roll across. Call it 4 right now. Really need to go
Yep.
to
Want
get
to
this
be,
to shot.
Yep. You want to be at least a 6.
Hard girl! Hard, back, hard! 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 Really good sweep, girls.
They got it to biting 8-foot. Will be a hit and roll opportunity come across if they decide to play it.
I mean, it could be like corner-ish to try and catch, but
Now they're
yeah,
actually
ideally behind.
looking at maybe drawing around it too. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I like that call. Get a chance, get your draw weight, just in case you need it with your next one. And if,
Yeah,
you,
this-
if you can hide half, more than half.
Behind.
I do think
You
this
guys
looks
like
like
that?
quite a bit of
Yeah.
stick for this shot.
That's a 15.
Straighter side. This
so
is
we're closer to a 14
about
maybe?
4 inches more broom than
Not that
Strouse
much.
took to
A
throw that
little
draw to
less.
biting 8-foot.
Well, cutting it down now.
Ah, that looks like a better broom. Must have said that louder than I thought.
We can hear them. Maybe they can hear us.
Two-way mics.
That's it.
Rachel Workin's first shot.
Wanna be
Trying to
Peanut
come
butter,
around draw on
probably.
that rock that Strouse just threw. Got a long ways to go to curl right now.
6.
Starting to turn over a little.
6.
gotta push for line.
6 is
Push
good.
under if we can.
See See how much they can bury now and make this a little tougher on Delaney Strouse.
Okay.
Maybe a quarter buried underneath.
You can pop a squat
Maybe
if
a
you
li-
want, but it's like
Because even if that's
Six.
fine. I like the stick though.
yeah. Yeah, I wasn't gonna yell. You got like 7, 8, 5, 6, 7.
Definitely plenty of stick again for this one.
Yeah.
The center line tends to be a little tough for the Rocks to get over the top of.
Yeah, we should be able
I'd
to
like to
move
see
with
it
sweeping.
start
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
the center at the
11
least,
minutes.
just to make sure it doesn't have to
Come on,
climb.
Delaney.
And really, if you don't stick around on this shot, Doug, if you just clear the stone, you're sitting 3, you're up by 3. Clearing that rock is the biggest thing. Make sure you give it a chance.
Yes.
Yep, priority 1.
That's awfully tight on that top one right now. Sweeper's really going hard.
Whoa.
And over curls, and yeah, that definitely got over that line earlier than they expected, and actually kind of surprised myself at how much that one went.
Yeah, that curled quite a bit. Team Workin looking for the skips deuce.
On
Just got to draw to full 8
maybe a
foot
slightly
for
faster line. What was the last split?
2 points for Workin.
No. Yeah.
Okay, so like a 15.
It's a little bit
almost
faster
here?
than your dodge button.
Okay.
Taking a bit more stick and just playing to
Little frame with the release.
clean draw or
7.
possibly the back yellow one. Should glide a
stay
little
close,
bit
stay
more on this
tight.
path than the one they just threw.
Calling
now.
7. They're
That's-
more hoping to 7 than
That's a little more than
Thinking
7
7.
right now. Do not have the backing on the yellow stone.
Maybe we should have been.
Ends up going right by. So it is just a single for Team Workin. Strouse will have hammer in the 4th after 3 ends. Delaney Strouse leads 3-1 over Rachel Workin. Back
like
for the
that
start of the
down?
4th end.
Okay.
Women's draw number 2 at the 2023 USA Curling National Championships. Delaney Strouse leading Rachel Workin 3-1. Doug, we saw a little bit of a missed opportunity for Rachel after Team Strouse really had control of the end the entire way through, but one miss at the end by Delaney gave Rachel a draw to the 8 foot for 2. And again, a little surprised that they switched up the line on that last draw and didn't allow Rachel just to throw the exact same draw she
Yep,
threw her
push with the
first.
brake. Let's get
Yeah,
this
it was
on.
too bad. She made such a great draw on that first one and got a little bit of a miss out of Team
You're almost
Strouse
there.
and then had potentially the same shot and
Nice
just
sweep.
took a little more ice, maybe a little bit different speed and just a little bit too heavy.
Back.
Nice center guard to start the end from Christina Lammers. Rebecca Rogers playing the intern draw, trying to come around that guard that was just thrown by Lammers. A little straighter on this side.
Okay, line's okay. Okay. 7. Okay, always said though, line's good if the weight's good.
Like this biting top 4s or
Yeah,
even
said.
a hair deeper than that.
Push.
Line looks pretty good.
Whoa.
Pretty much where she put it in the first 3 ends.
I was like,
Great
stop.
shot.
Be a hair deeper than they'd like, and
Yeah.
will allow for the freeze for Team Workin, but well thrown stone once again. try to follow. Same line, same shot.
4, 5. 4.
Yep, street 2, yep. Where?
Over. Street 3.
Okay, let's switch. Just leave it on the center.
That's going to overcurl and die already, and
Okay.
looks like it may leave these guards staggered as well. I don't think there's any question what Delaney Strouse is going to do. Go right back to the 4-foot again.
Yep. Like this, just a little bit higher than that first one. Like you said, that's probably ideally a foot too deep. Only because it gives the other team a better opportunity to freeze it. If you're top 4, a little bit tougher freeze to kind of
Line's
generate
a little
later.
better.
They had a good
Line's
chance to
better.
take control of this end again for Team Strauss,
It looks like it's
especially
coming.
in the middle of the sheet.
14-8.
Very nice line again.
Leave
Like
full
to
8,
get
leave
this to
full
the
8.
8
Hard,
foot at
girl.
least.
Don't leave it her guard. Hard, hard, hard. Gotta be full 8. Okay. Close.
Pretty good. Let it die a little bit. We'd like to see another foot or two, but
Corner.
good position.
Yep.
Really good line on that stone, and does cut off any possible freeze attempt on this same side. I think Workin is playing a freeze to the top stone, which you're going to need a couple more rocks if you're going to have that do any good for you.
We'll go around then.
Yep. 2 guards already up.
They're saying it's a little bit deeper than that, so we're playing to go around it as is.
You just push when we can. Yep, let's push under.
Calling 7, I think it's
Oh,
all
you're
of
not
that
ready.
already.
We're there. We're back to 12.
See how far Delaney Strouse can take this
Okay,
stone.
just a quick path there.
And that is true. That path will be considerably faster than the opposite side. Strauss not messing around. Going to play the double peel and take the steal out of play. Despite how aggressive they play, they still do recognize when the guards are the only thing that'll hurt you in this end.
Yep. 2 up with.
Okay.
Yep.
Only gets the 1 though.
A little unlucky on that one.
High's okay.
Sydney Delaney clearing 1 of those stones. And this intern freeze for Normando with a little more curl on this side, definitely a makeable shot.
Yes, you would definitely like
6 is
to
nice.
glue one on here.
5, 6.
Put a little pressure on Team Strauss.
Close line. 5, 6.
Here's
Push
where you're
on
going
me.
to see this turn over right about here.
Sorry, straight. Yep. Yep, straight. Whoa. Easy on the weight. Easy on the weight. Yep, gotta go. Yep. Push under. Push under. Yep, yep, yep.
That's a
Okay.
really well played shot
Nice
by
shot.
Anya Normando.
Great
Yeah,
shot. All right.
Yeah.
Strauss looks like she's going to line up a possible double run.
Yep. See how
Clear
many
that
rocks.
stone.
See how many rocks we can remove
Do you
here.
want a little less, like
Nothing
7.5?
wrong with just making
What?
the peel
Do you
too.
want the same weight or 7.5?
7-5.
Sydney Mulaney, we'll see how many rocks she can get moving with this one.
Yes!
Sweeper's on it immediately, right out of her hand.
Hard! Any roll, any roll. Oh. All right.
Oh, just ticks both. Tough break there for Team
Wow.
Strauss.
Don't see that too often where those back 2 rocks that were sitting on the button, they both skated
Like
over
commander?
and still red's
Sure.
in front of the yellow.
They're shot right now, but I don't mind that back there.
Yep, I like it. Okay, this is the
Outturn
quick
come
pass.
around for Team Workin on the offensive. And Koto. Important draw here too.
Yep, you can go.
Where?
Yep, you can go.
Yep, line.
Like it needs to go for weight.
Yep, yep, yep.
Get this to the 4 foot.
Yep.
Over
Great
curling a
center,
little
yep.
as well.
That's just fine.
Ends up just a tight guard. Action on the other sheets. Team Bear leads 3-2 over McMakin after 3 ends of play. Anderson and Shield yet to score on sheet B with 3 blanks. And sheet D, Tabitha Peterson 3-1 over Kim Rhyme. A little bit of an anomaly on sheet B, Doug. We've seen a lot of points, both the men's and the women's side in the draws so far, and haven't seen anything like that with a scoreless tie through 3 ends.
Yeah, not yet. 3 blanks in a row.
7.
Miss Rock now curling
Good
and
line.
hitting the brakes as
7.
well. So another
Same thing.
opportunity for Team Workin to go on the attack.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity. Down 2 without the hammer. Got some darts up front there. Team Workin has to love the opportunity that they have here.
See if Ann Podol can solve the mystery on this outturn draw.
Yep, early.
Team struggling with it right now.
All right, wait. Oh, okay. That's fine.
Oh, they burned that stone. That's unfortunate there.
Yeah, you don't see it often, but it does happen. Unfortunately, that's too bad too. The timing of that. Wish you would have loved to try to get
Yeah, that was
a rock in there.
down.
And they left no doubt on that one. They hit that one hard enough that
Got it.
they got their money's worth on that burn.
Take it all the way out.
So attempt number 4. See if Anna O'Hara can make this intern now as a left-hander.
We're really wide. Really wide.
This is way on the outside of the sheet so far.
Try to wait for this to break a little,
I
and then
think be
really
back.
try to get
if
it to
you
curl.
can, back here. Okay, well, curl. Get a piece.
Starting
get a
to get
piece,
some
Barry.
finish now. See if they can get a
Hard,
piece
hard, hard,
underneath.
hard. That's good, Anna. That's fine.
Heads up. Still getting a piece underneath their own guard.
Yeah, that was nice. They got
Or-
that rock to curl quite a bit at the end.
I was just thinking that either like
really
that or a
wanted
rub
to
off of it.
At
But
least hide a piece of that around that center guard.
let's try for a rub, and if it decides to run straight, we tap. Okay. Basically going, or just straight draw even, yeah? I don't mind just straight drawing if it's there. Okay, let's do that. Yep, that sounds good. Playing with straight draw, but a rub off is totally fine.
Okay.
If it ends up running, we can just straight tap it too.
Okay. So you're going for T-line.
Top 4 foot.
Top 4? Okay.
What do we like for a split?
Rachel Workin playing the intern tap, I believe. May end up just trying to come in off of their own as well.
Yeah, I was curious as to whether she was going to call the just straight tap back on her own red or try to hit the inside of her red and try to get the red that she's throwing to be a little bit more undercover.
Two good options for Workin on this shot. We'll see if she can get one or the other. Line looks great for the draw.
Okay.
That's a good spot. Not sure that Strouse can do anything to get to that stone.
Yeah, that was a nice shot
I think
right
it
there.
just jams into the front of it, but that might be okay. I cannot hear a word you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I said that. Just wait for me to get there. Jesus Christ, guys. Get my own game. Yeah. Get to the inside.
So maybe thinking they can paper by this yellow guard
I think
and
teal.
move both of these red stones. They get really tight to it.
The other stuff was not necessary.
Yeah, the red one
I just
more
was like,
towards the
I knew
center
what you were
line
saying.
is the higher rock, but if she hits it thin enough,
Because you have a lot on the
could
inside.
potentially spill both of them.
Can you pick your broom up for a sec? Okay. I just wanted to see it.
I I would think this will probably have a little bit of weight on it too.
I would agree.
Just want to be prepared.
See what Delaney Strouse can come up with.
Whoa.
Need this to come up a little bit. Don't want to just straight jam on their own. That's not a bad result at all for that shot. There is a hit and roll in again
like
for Team Workin.
Here. Or
And
some sort of
lonely red
just
in
kind
there.
of.
If that rock curls
Another
another
rub-off
inch and
type
they get a
thing.
little bit of a roll in off of that,
Yeah, I think
cornered on the
well,
red,
I don't know. That 5's pretty close.
that would have been flipped around again, and Team Strouse would have had
If
the
it rubs
advantage.
off of. Well, yeah, I think we could if we just straight draw to here. So it just ran a little bit straight, right?
So they're trying to decide whether if they just draw in there, if red will be 1-2 or not.
Almost the same shot. We're trying to get to nose on our own. Okay. Maybe we can sit second shot.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you still like that 20 weight? Okay.
So Workin playing, I think, a similar shot to what she
but
just
also
threw.
wide.
Yeah,
Heavy
tricky,
draw.
tricky shot here. Just trying to draw in there, but she really doesn't
Close to
want to
straight.
hit
5.
much of the yellow on this if she's just playing the draw. If you're playing the hit and roll, then
Yep,
throw
take a
some
bounce
weight
off
at
if
it.
you
But
can.
playing the draw, you don't really want to push that yellow one out and give Team Strouse
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
something to come in off of. Came up, tapped the guard.
I don't know if it's there anymore.
Yeah, that changed the angles around now. That's looks like Strouse may only
It's
have
like
a
she
tap
barely
on the
took it.
outturn side for 1.
I don't
There
think it's
is
there
a
anymore.
possible slash on their own, but I think, or red to red.
This
don't think
straight
it's there.
run.
Well,
There is
before-
just straight
originally what
on
I was
red with
thinking, but that
yellow,
was
red,
before this
red.
rock was there.
Before Team Workin ticked that red, she was thinking about playing the run on that yellow. Yellow into yellow
Oh, for
and then
sure, but
jam into the
originally when
red
this wasn't there, I
on the
could
forefoot.
really
Oh,
use it.
with Team Workin
Yeah.
tapping that red over a little bit. I'm not sure if she has
That's what
this
I'm
shot
saying.
anymore. That's what they're talking about.
Go back. Close. You roll it.
I think you're right. I think
Or
Yeah.
off this.
it's close.
Off this front one. Double run, split. Yeah, like if you run this one that's
Okay.
So now they're trying to decide whether try to play that red. I'm not sure that's there. I think it runs into the top of the or the back of the yellow on the right-hand side on your screen. Still talking about playing that yellow run. I think ultimately they're going to get to the shot you were thinking. Playing that tap, although
Yeah, they really
they're lining something else up here.
They really want to play for the multiple points, but honestly, there isn't anything for more than 2. It doesn't look like. So
No, I agree.
I think just playing that tap, playing for your
Yep.
1 point, and keeping things safe is the right call. But here we go.
Here we go.
yeah.
Well, at least with this, I don't think there's really any downside. The worst you can do is give up 1, but difficult shot.
That over curls, and Does give the steal of 1 to Team Workin. No extra damage done with moving all that granite around. So after 4 ends of play now, Team Strouse leading Team Workin 3-2. Strouse will have hammer in the 5th.
The everyday person may not aspire to be a professional athlete.
That red stone that's off the rings that could be used for an in-off to score multiple points.
Absolutely.
Where? Okay.
These guard placements be
Little bit to
extremely
line.
important
Straight,
now for
straight,
Team Workin
straight.
with the way these angles are set up.
Yeah, calling for the tight one. I
You're good. You're good.
might have thought about
Shoot,
putting this
push.
a hair higher.
Yeah, it's coming all the way into the house
That's
and
my bad.
actually makes a freeze, which I believe they were intending to do, but ended up being a very good shot.
I'm scared it'll run.
This drags.
5.
If you want to drag, we need 9-5 or 8-5.
Do you 5 or do you want control?
Do you want to hear more?
More?
So Strauss feeling like they can hit enough of this red stone that they can get both reds going.
Yep.
With how close these two are together, Doug, there may be a little bit of a drag effect.
Could
Pulls
pull it a
that
little
yellow
bit.
stone.
Go side here. If you're a little tight, you hit that yellow guard. That's not end of the world
9-5,
either.
9. Back. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, what a great shot.
That was fantastic.
Actually hit too much of that red stone. Got too close to the
Wonder.
guard.
Who'd
That's
have thought?
difficult to do.
Probably like a hack right on.
But it does open things up and
Let's go board to make
likely
sure we get it out.
give
It'd be nice to
Strauss
just
a
catch.
better chance at
I
scoring.
mean, that shot
this
over
end.
that anyway. Yeah. Even showing a piece is okay, right? Okay.
I think Workin just wants to flop over here a little bit. If she rolls in a
Setting
little bit
second
too
right now.
much
It'd be nice
behind
to get to the
cover,
inside.
Strauss may come down
planning
and
board
play the
weight.
double on the other side.
Rolling away isn't the worst, but
They're closing the scoring
She
area.
just wants to hit and just
Yeah,
flop
once we're
over
by that
maybe
guard, we
half a
can
rock,
push it, the
even
weight's
if
not too low.
she still shows her a piece. I think she'll be
25.
You got it.
happy with that because she can come in with her last one.
Yeah, very important role here for Rachel Workin. If she can get inside these guards,
Board. Go up.
very difficult for Delaney
Push.
Strouse to
Push.
score more than one.
Push. Hard push. Guys,
Trying to get this to turn over to get the roll.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it's going to get inside. So rolling away. Full 8 foot on the opposite side. I think you may see Strauss play the come around draw and try to get a skips deuce.
Top T line is really good. Yeah.
So anything touching the 4 foot buried is a very good shot here.
Wait, top 4, top T line?
Yeah, I think just top 4 is perfect here.
Yeah, I like top four.
Absolutely, same thing.
Yeah.
Get behind it, that's
Precision
perfect.
needed on this shot. She really doesn't want to
14,
overbury this
definitely
too
a little
much.
slower
She
crossing.
could give
Okay.
Team Workin a chance
Yeah, we
to run
shouldn't
back her
cross
own red. That's in the top 8.
Much.
Yeah, that's why
Very
barely
it's so
crossing,
important
like,
to leave this just
Stop on the
Yeah,
side.
biting
yeah.
top 4 and no deeper
Got
than
it.
that.
Yep.
Take away any chance for a slash that they may have on that stone at the top of the house. Out-turn come around draw for Delaney Strouse.
It's all there.
Got a curl.
Gonna need to turn over to Barry. Not getting there yet. Now starting to turn. So they'll have to go a little deeper than they like just to make sure that it does bury. Probably about a
Tap it back
third
here.
showing.
I don't mind that line.
Back line.
A little bit of a teaser here.
It is a teaser. Yeah, I was exactly going to say the same thing. You just freeze, you just tap it a little bit, you make actually a little bit of a swing, try to hit and roll away a little bit, make her shoot 1 against 3, although she just made the draw.
Do we like backline here, or do we like just tapping it at her?
Tricky part of playing the tap
How much
is
weight are you
you have
looking
to
at
make
right now?
sure you
Backline.
get on top of that rock as much as you can, because you cannot tap the outside and roll out into the open. That won't do you any good.
Still that.
Yeah, I would
that
imagine
back
with this
eight-ish.
broom,
Yeah.
I'll try for
the
some
ideal way
flat
to
weight.
make the shot would be
Yep.
back line, maybe at most. You need this to turn. It will finish late.
Back
Little
line.
tight. Backline, back close.
She gets a pretty good angle on this. She could actually just tap this back a foot as long as she has a good angle on it.
Hard
got
push.
a chance
Definitely
for still.
curling.
Gotta go.
They get it to curl enough that it doesn't bump to the open. Ends up pushing it far enough to sit 3, so we'll call that good enough for Team Workin. Dug that out well.
Playing a force of one, they'll be happy with that if they can
Just gotta stick
force
around
one
and get
here.
foot. Or
It
like
does
biting the
appear
floor.
as though Workin sitting 3. So need to stick around to avoid a
Yep, just
steal
stick
of
around the
2.
floor, you got it. Yeah, yeah.
Not sure if that
I do. They're
red
curling
rock
good.
in the
I like
top
it a
of the
lot.
8-foot would be a stopper or not.
All right, you got it. Trust the broom here.
So Delaney Strouse' final stone of the first half of this game.
11.
Just looking for a nose hit. Somewhere between control and board weight. Trying to get this to
Trying
turn
to
over,
curl.
stick around. Curling hard now. And that'll do just fine. Nice shot by Strouse. Good sweep. So Strouse will lead 4-2 at the break, and the 5th end break means this break is brought to you by Warm Room Hero, the intuitive curling software company. Takes the stress of schedules, registrations, and more. Warm Room Hero platform built for curlers by curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. And we do go into this 5th end break. 4-2, Strouse leads Team Workin.
Let's say you're in high school and there's a sport you like, but sometimes you think, you know, it might be cool to try a new sport.
End up with a corner guard on the other side of the sheet.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Landsteiner.
Yep.
That rock
Always-
going right to the back of the 8-foot.
I got a
Yep.
slower split, but
Always
I
a good
also-
reminder for coaches and teams to just kind of remember that and just keep saying it. Hey, extend and be a little quicker.
Line's real nice. Run in a
Stina
bit.
Lammers throwing a draw to the corner guard out to the
Really
side.
running. It's got like 6 rotations.
Trying to generate there too here. Want
Okay,
this
that's
to
fine.
be short.
This one again with the quicker ice out of the break, glides into the house. Delaney Strouse will happily put the broom down for this hit immediately.
Couldn't run up there quick enough.
That ends up straight jamming into their own and rolling out.
Corner.
They on the wrong side once again with that. Now Workin able to throw corner guard again or split the house, whichever she elects to do.
2's good. 2-3.
Expect this to be short of the rings.
I agree.
Start pushing when you can.
Be tough if you go in the rings, try to split. It's really tough to keep those rocks away from each other and not have to worry about
Really
one
nice
getting
judge, guys. Good sweep.
higher and higher up in the rings. So
Good shot.
better chance to generate your 2 by
I'm
putting the
five.
corner up.
Be here.
Open hit now for Team Strouse. No real danger after that jam still. And a wide open end is not a bad thing with this 2-point lead.
She'd like to stick around and stay right there and try to take play away from the corner. Oh, almost did.
Team Workin electing to go around that corner guard with out-turn draw. No need really to trade hits at this point. The only reason why you do that is if you're hoping for a rollout and then eventually drawing under it anyways. So
Yep.
may as well go to the corner now.
Yep. It's behind the rings. It's potentially a helpful rock for you at this point. So
The speed of this rock does not look particularly helpful right now.
It's just a running spot, so they're
Again,
cruising.
that speed coming out of the break should not catch these teams by surprise with being well known for as long as we've had mops at the break.
That's exactly it. Yep. Yeah, this is wouldn't be the first event where it's faster for those first few rocks in the 6th.
So a pretty straightforward call for Strouse playing the peel. Well thrown by Sydney Mulaney.
Yep.
Put her back.
Might be making some time here
All right, you got this one.
for this end.
Yeah, this will be a, provided these shots are executed well, it's a straightforward end now for, especially for Team Strouse. Workin's hoping that maybe they get a flash or a nose peel to have a chance to get 2, but as long as they make these peels, then expecting a likely blank attempt from Team Workin at the end.
On its own, I think.
This one gliding deep as well.
Okay.
Now a possible force opportunity for Team Strouse with those 2 rocks in.
Yep.
Nose hit would be a good shot.
They will do everything they can to try to keep the 2 yellows in there and try to force here.
Right out, I'll hold you.
Love to get the hammer back, being ahead in the game.
Should see a little bit of curl on this side of the sheet again. The out turn for lefty Anna O'Hara. They called for a little bit of a roll in, but I think nose is probably your best spot to leave this, not jumble those up. So that's perfectly done by O'Hara.
Yep, great shot.
I like the pace that Team Strouse plays with too, Doug. That sometimes it does look like they're rushing a little bit, but they keep the flow of the game going for the most part. And we always felt like as a men's team that we played better when we had good flow during the game and things didn't get too choppy. We executed better.
Yep. Well, it just seems like if you're sure of yourself right off the bat, it just, yep, this is the shot.
Straight to Fanny. Yep,
straight.
line.
Know how to throw
Hard
it.
line.
Just
Yep,
adds a
gotta
little
go
bit of
straight line.
confidence there when you know, when you're
Hard
going
line.
back
Yep,
and forth.
yep,
If
we'll
you
take a
have
tap. Gotta go. Yep, you
a
guys line.
situation where, well, we
Yep,
could do
gotta go.
this, or we could do this, and then you go back and forth, and you're kind of waffling on that. Sometimes that can eat away a little bit at your confidence of that shot. So
Strouse pointing like she wants to throw another counter in. That rock being a biter, I think you're just in kill mode right now and getting rid of that stone with the 2-point lead without hammer, but it's as though they are going to throw to the center once again.
yeah, game on here because Team Strouse has one behind the tee line. That Team Workin, if Team Strouse throws another one in the rings, she may choose to come down to that back one and try to generate a deuce that way. It went from being what we thought was going to be a simple end, blanked away. Doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah, he can never be too sure, especially with Delaney Strouse's game.
Sorry. Let's go control. Stick around.
Piling up in a hurry. That little error on the draw through the rings, and then that draw going into the house afterwards, allowing the hit and stick for Strouse.
Yep.
Now the way that these rocks angled up, there's 2 different doubles. Not quite sure if there's a triple on these the way they're lined up.
Close. Yep. Yep. Yep, fired. You go.
Curl pretty hard.
Gotta go.
And Goodall, her second stone of the end.
That's fine.
Let's make the double on those 2 stones. And
actually, Team Strouse actually won't be too upset at that loses that back 4 yellow. I'm not sure that that rock was going to help them later in the end, potentially. But Team Workin doubling that rock out of there. Now she's got 2 yellows above the rings, 1 around the corner guard. I think she'll be pretty comfortable at this point in the end. Trying to make this force.
a nose hit would be just fine here for Strouse. Any double that Workin would play would be very thin. I think they're pretty happy with a nose hit. Any roll, you'd want to roll all the way wide to make sure that there isn't a double. That should stick around and leave no double for
Do you like it?
Team Workin. So doing it the hard way.
Yep.
Rolling all the way away.
That's a great
every
spot
bit
there
as well.
for her.
Yeah, that ended up perfect.
They're
May see a freeze attempt from
probably drawing to keep us. They're drawing
Workin on
somewhere over
this
here to
stone.
keep
Yeah,
us from.
Team Workin talking about how
Right.
they can generate their 2.
I think the short run on your own stone probably is a little bit easier
Right.
way to
And
get
then they
there.
wail at it.
Don't have a big area to throw it in
One
to make that
short run.
freeze.
Or hide.
Well, and it's tough to be shot after it too, the way that
Control.
the angles are. Yep. She heard you again. You forgot to turn your mic off again.
Control, short run back.
Okay. Are we looking to get nose or off?
Just
So
slightly
short
off nose.
in-turn run back for
Off of it, but-
Rachel Workin. I do like this call. Hit this just off nose on the high side and should stay buried under your own and be shot rock.
That's the yellow.
Bring their opportunity for 2 back in play. I like that she's playing this with soft weight too and not firing this. You do want to control this and keep that raised rock around.
Yep.
Yep.
Use your sweepers at least a little bit.
Yep, hard, hard, hard. Yep. Hard, keep it there. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, hard.
Actually,
almost perfect.
overswept that a hair. Needed to
Just
curl
a
up
little
to
bit. Yep.
get it underneath. A well-thrown shot, but
Yep.
yeah, that curls a little more than she's buried under her own stone. Good weight control, good throw. Delaney Strouse with an open hit. Needs to stick around to eliminate the blank opportunity for Workin.
I think
Yeah, that's the big thing. Just make sure this rock ends up in the rings
Yeah.
after you hit it.
all right.
Could get a little greedy and just try to flop over behind that guard a little bit.
Shouldn't see a ton of curl on this. And may spin, bites. Not rolls off and
Okay, we were right about the blank.
Easy peel.
never should have
Blank.
doubted ourselves after all.
Nope, we knew it was going to be a blank. Blank to force to.
Just easy peel.
So out turn, hit
not
and
gonna be
roll
much
out,
up here.
attempt to blank
Yeah.
for Rachel
And if
Workin.
I'm at the brimming, I should be able to hold it if it starts moving.
Anything on the high side will be good enough.
Whoa!
There's a pretty good pop on that
Whoa!
release to get that thing to the outside of the sheet. Fading back pretty hard.
Well done.
Gets a piece.
Maybe well
Should
done.
Spin out of the rings, I think. Just enough.
Never doubt.
That's a perfect score in the books.
That's right. Perfect blank.
So the blank indeed does happen after that little roller coaster of an end we had.
That's
And
it.
Strouse does lead 4-2 after 6 ends. Workin retains hammer, playing the 7th.
Just because you're not a professional athlete doesn't mean that you should accept less. The beauty about what Thorn does is our product quality is the same whether they're in the athletic line or whether they're just for the everyday person. Thorn has kept true to never compromising on quality, never compromising on efficacy, never compromising on safety for not only athletes but for everyone who would use their products.
Start of the 7th end. Here, draw number 2, the 2023 Women's USA Curling National Championships. Delaney Strouse's squad leads 4-2 over Rachel Workin. Workin with hammer in the 7th. It's Tyler George, joined by Doug Kaufman in the booth. And Doug, every time we think we have a grasp on what's going on here in these ends, Rachel and Delaney throw us a curveball.
Yeah, well, obviously I have not been curling enough.
So after the draw to the top of the
On his
8th,
own, I
for
think.
Strauss to start the end. Working again, trying to go to a corner guard. Set up a multiple point end to get back in this game. Just gliding a little bit. I think it should stop just short. And does.
Sweeper's delight right
Alright,
there.
got it.
Just
Walking
a
around down there.
nice peaceful walk
Yes.
this evening in Denver.
Look around. Taking the sights.
My former teammate Joe Polo would say they valeted that stone down the chutes.
I like that. Now that we're playing seniors, we try to do that on purpose. Just save our sweepers.
That's good
It's a
teamwork.
long 4 days. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah.
teamwork. Strauss going right back to a center guard. And a force in this end would be a very good result for Team Strauss. That's why they're going to a guard with this shot. If they're up 3, I think they might throw 2 in. But with the 2-point lead, they're very happy with Rachel Workin taking a point or getting a steal themselves. Both would be very good outcomes. And at this point in the game, too, Workin probably blanks this end as opposed to taking a point if it comes to it, but starting to run out of ends.
Yep.
You don't want to blank anymore after this. This would probably be the last one where that would be an option.
Yep. I totally agree. But if the opportunity presents itself where she can get 2 here and get it tied up, she'd be happy with that as well.
Yep, line's good, guys. Gotta go. Line, yep, line.
Out turn, come around, draw, attempt. Christina Lammers. Swept the whole way to get to the rings, does click the guard and sits open. Strauss setting up the hit and roll. Sydney Mulaney with the intern hit attempt.
Like to roll all the way to the center here. Doesn't want to give Team Workin another chance to maybe make a hit and roll.
Again, a little on the wide side on that straight turn. Not getting it to come up enough, but does make the hit and stick. Looks like
Alright, you got it. Let's make a nice
Workin is content to play 0 or 2.
Yep.
Peeling this guard. I don't know that I wouldn't stick with trying to play something into the rings or bump that rock around. The guard is so high that it's not a huge danger for Team Workin. And again, an opportunity to score multiple points in this end, probably more important than keeping this open.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one goes all the way through the uprights, leaves the red stone biting the center line.
7.
So close again on that.
Yeah, around everything.
But even with that, I mean, if it
I like it
she
too.
would have hit it a little bit more on the nose and made that double, that guard is still going to be up there. So
Mulaney's second throw of the end, out turn draw. I think they're trying to come all the way around both of these stones.
Yep. Get
a little
bit better
concerned
rock in
about
there.
that just because the hit and roll opportunity is available now on that rock in the top 8s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get this as a little tighter guard at the least. If they get it to come out the other side a little, it'd be much better. Just staggers underneath.
Or did we go after that one?
Just off nose
Working
this side.
again, looking at playing the double peel instead. That yellow rock is mostly open to play that hit and roll under the corner. So very conservative approach for this end with a 2-point deficit. If this does end up slashing into that yellow rock in the top of the 12-foot would be a much better result, I think.
Whoa. Whoa. Nice shot.
Makes the double peel, but still leaves the center guard up. Strauss sitting 2.
14-7. Like a 90 for you.
There's going to be an opportunity for Team Workin if and when they do decide to play to those stones in the house. Again, with how high that guard is, the yellow stone on the top of the 8-foot is very accessible.
Yeah, could make that. Could make the call for that hit and roll and get behind those 2 corners at any point.
Gets by the guard by a long ways. Trying to get this to finish up and bury a piece. I don't think you're real concerned about if it's deep here. You don't have a hammer, you're not really worried about the freeze.
Yeah.
Now Workin lining up this hit. And this is where things should get interesting the rest of this end. They can certainly get to enough to make the double or get the roll underneath.
Yep, I do.
Now looking at scores on the other sheet. Sheet A, Madison Bear leads 5-3 over Christine Macon. Sheet B, a couple points on the board now. Sarah Anderson leads.
There we go.
Team Shield 2-1. That's through 6 ends. And sheet D, Tabitha Peterson out to a 5-1 lead on Kim Ryan.
Close. Yep. Yeah. You gotta go. Yep. Hard. Yeah. You gotta go hard.
Really hard to roll here.
Hard. Gotta
This is
go.
turning
Hard.
over hard. Got to go to get by the guard. It does.
Okay.
Actually curls to the point that doesn't even
Nice
hit the
throw.
back
Good
one.
way.
Not a terrible setup with where that rock is. Be an aggressive call to try to play hack weight and get underneath. It is makeable, but could easily jam on your own stone as well.
Definitely some danger involved with that play.
Yep, just left.
Strouse instead will elect to play the outturn come around draw. Or it would be an outturn for us right-handers. This will be a in-turn for Southpaw Anna O'Hara. Was it Rocky Balboa's trainer, Mickey, that said all Southpaws should be outlawed? I don't feel that way about curlers. I don't
Good
think
thing. My kid's a southpaw.
Yeah,
so
I don't
that's
think
good.
I don't think we could, in good conscience,
Yeah.
say that with Connor and
That's
my
right.
former teammate John Landsteiner,
That's it.
both lefties. My brother-in-law Derek Benson, when he chooses to curl,
About the
which is
same thing. We might
relatively
need
seldom,
control on this
also
one though.
southpaw.
Hey. Yep.
Get a couple good results from this one shot here.
Yeah, another one where the roll definitely in play if they play this with a little bit of weight. Maybe a short run, double, and roll.
Easy, easy.
This is the straighter side again. We'll
push,
see if they
push,
can get
push,
this
push,
to come
push.
up, and it is
Yep, curl,
hanging
curl,
once
curl,
again. And
curl.
Doug, that same error with that straight side and not reading the curl.
Yep. Got a piece of it, but really wanted to stick around with his shooter there.
I think they threw that right where they wanted to as well, but just not going to get the curl on that side of the sheet with that intern.
10-5. Honestly, the stick isn't.
So an open hitting stick now for Delaney Strouse.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb this time and say this end will not be blanked.
I'm not saying anything. It's hard to figure out how, but I wouldn't put anything past these squads.
Yeah,
and
honestly.
finding out a way to
Yeah.
make us wrong
Knows
one
it's
way
Yeah.
or another.
Well-
outcome. You got it. $11. Yep. 11. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
This
back,
is really
hard,
curling hard.
Hard back.
I
Hard.
don't think they have contact here. And that's a swing side,
I don't like
outside
it.
of the
So
sheet. That's one where you just want to throw weight and take
Uh,
the ice out of it. And
almost
just
half.
a
Back to board.
little lack of focus on that shot by
Last time we
Delaney.
came
and
this way.
Yeah, you weren't worried too much about a
finished a
roll
little too
there,
hard, but I
where
think
this rock
it should
ends
be
up.
about
That one was a contact. We had contact for that one. Okay.
So again on the swing side, Rachel Workin playing the
Oh, yeah,
outturn. I would assume maybe
Okay.
hack weight
Um,
hit with this
Gosh,
broom.
can't see as much as I thought we could, but
Going to sit
I think
two
you
all
guys
of a
can shove
sudden
it
once
under.
again.
I'll just try not to overthrow it.
Are we looking to go nose or roll
Yeah,
out?
as nose
I
as
think if
possible.
it gets to nose, there's probably no double for team.
Yeah, that's the trick,
Strouse
is
as well.
trying to get as much to the nose as you can, because every little bit you are on the right-hand side of the nose.
A little soft.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem to get it to finish on this line.
Whoa, whoa. 7-5. Push.
See a little outward momentum on that release, though.
Push.
Now it's curling.
Push. Push, 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 push. Push.
Trying to get it to finish.
Push.
Guard.
Yeah, that should be good enough. Those rocks are even up. Don't believe that there's a double for Strouse. Probably just either hitting that rock and trying to roll under the guard, or taking your medicine and hitting the outside one. There is plenty of room to hit that rock and get the roll underneath with how it curls. It's just a matter of if you're concerned at all about the jam on that back stone, if it hangs just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a tricky downside.
I don't mind.
I mean, if you can get to the inside, absolutely, that's the shot. But then they're also discussing whether that double is possible or not. Front side of the first one, back side of the second one.
Hit and roll. If you hit it too thick,
If that had rolled
he
a
has no draw.
half foot even to the outside, that double would definitely be there for Strouse. But these rocks are almost dead even up.
Yep.
So if you really want to throw a bomb at it, you could probably make the double, but
Okay.
looking at the scoreboard, I think, and what they're playing in this shot.
And the but
Well, worst case, you hit the wide
I
open
kind
one.
of like
Team
make
Workin
the
makes
double, and I think
their
he
last shot. It's tied up.
it
Team
out, but
Strauss
he
would
couldn't
have the
go, he'd
hammer
roll into
going
the
into the 8th end. Great spot to be in. Potentially 2 hammers to 1. Tied up with. But she's still talking about.
Okay.
And room next to that stone. It's possible they're playing the inside out with the in turn, but I think they're lining up the double right now with this out turn. So Delaney believes that she can hit enough of this stone with enough weight to push that rock out the side of the rings.
Got to be really careful. That last of the jam rock.
Yeah, pretty good shove on the release. Weight's definitely there. This is close. Oh, what a great shot.
Outstanding shot. Made that look easy.
That's how you bounce back from a miss, too. Perfectly thrown stone, and just like that, the end turns back for Team Strauss, and
I feel like that
be either a hit and stick or a draw against 3.
Well done.
Yeah, those feel so good after
Oh,
those
man.
misses. You feel like you let the team down and come back and make a shot like that. That's world-class curling there.
Yep.
Some of them are taking off here, though.
It looks
Yeah,
with
I
that
think we
broom that
lost. We
Rachel
lost
Workin's
maybe
electing to
at least one.
play the
Yeah,
hit,
we'll stay close.
sit one. But again, Doug, this is close to that line where Delaney crossed and airballed that hit. It's a little closer to the center, but I would expect that you'll get some curl here. She's got plenty of stick if she throws solid weight. This ends up a little soft. It could easily hook up, and I don't think that's going to be a problem based on that throw.
Not touching
You
yet.
gotta go push. You
Still
gotta
trying to
push.
get it to
Skating a
curl.
little.
Push, push, push. Hard, hard, hard.
Will it come
Hard,
back
hard,
enough to
hard.
stick around? Just barely does, and does get the point.
That'll work.
So Workin takes 1 in 7. Delaney Strouse now leads 4-3 going to the 8th end, and Strouse will have hammer in the 8th. Room Hero is more than just software. It's run by curlers, dedicated to building long-term relationships with your club. Warm Room Hero provides continuous support to ensure your website exceeds your members' expectations. Check out Warm Room Hero today at curling.club for special event pricing. On that note, my own personal sponsor here, Dr. Pepper, zero sugar.
All right,
Sip of that.
45.
Get going in this eighth end, Doug, and Strouse with a wonderful double to escape a little bit of a jam at the end after a flashed hit on her first. Great bounce back, and now has hammer up by 1 playing the eighth.
Yeah, really a great shot. And unfortunately for Team Workin, their attempt at a center guard came up a little bit short, so ended up hogging that first one. So Team Strouse happy to come into the rings here.
Good.
Yeah, unfortunate start to the end for Team Workin, and awfully difficult to generate a steal without having the center guards up. And I think Rachel can still throw another center, no reason not to. Only down by a point. I know she doesn't want to chase, but with only 3 ends to play, you don't really have a lot of option but to go back to the well on the center guard.
Yep, totally agree.
Yeah,
Got to
that's
try to generate a steal here, get it tied up. If she does generate a steal somehow here in the eighth, tied up,
It's 14-5.
scoring in an even end would be a
The heavy-
big boost for the team right now.
A much better throw there from Christina Lammers. Right on the center
Yeah,
line.
you got it back. It's been really good.
Strauss looking to go under the center guard and take that position away from Team Workin. Like to see this one maybe biting top 4 somewhere in that area. Playing the little swingier side, the out turn for Rebecca Rogers.
Pressure in every end to get these lead rocks exactly where you want them. Start off the end right. This end is no different.
That's perfectly done there.
Yep,
Excellent
great shot.
position. Rebecca Rogers has had a very strong game
That makes
today.
sense.
She has. She's really put the rock around that center guard's
It's really
top
She
4
was
more
like,
times than
"This
not.
girl." So I don't.
Doug, while they're throwing this shot, watching Strauss's team, I was trying to think of another curling team I've seen in history that had 2 lefties on it.
Ooh.
Competitive teams, we'll ask our fellow gentlemen in the booth here with us if they can think of another competitive curling squad that had 2 left-handers on it. We're getting some puzzled expressions up here right now.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, give him some time.
Anybody listening at home, too, if you want to tweet directly at me, if you can come up with one, I would love to hear it.
Well,
It's
you're
going to
the-
bother me all night trying to
Yeah.
think of one now.
Well, the problem is you're going to have to come up with a definition of competitive as well.
All right, tell me even a club team that has 2, and we'll start with that and go from there. Nice peel executed there by Delaney, likely replaced by Anya Normando now. In turn, guard being thrown by Normando. They do have shot rock in the back of the forefoot, too. Very well placed stone by Normando on that one. Like to have this sit mid guard on the center line. It looks like that's exactly where it will go. So a nice pair from Normando as well.
Nicely done.
Immediate peel lining up. My father, the first one to text, says Danny O'Leary and his brother Pat. Now, a lot of people may not know Danny, but he was a world-class player, played with my father. Those two, him and his brother Pat, played together, both lefties.
Okay.
So that's
Early leader.
That's number 1 on the list right
There we
now.
go. Early leader in the clubhouse.
And trust me, if you ever saw Danny play, you wouldn't have any question if he was competitive or not, both in his level of play and his attitude. And Podol now looking to replace that guard once again. And at what point in this end, Doug, do you think you make a play on something in the house? Or do you at all? As long as they continue to peel, replace, you have shot rock.
Yeah, the trick is where are you going to put it?
Yeah, not a lot of good options there. And this one going as deep as it is. Oh, I just have a message from Adam McCarron. Yeah, excellent call. I did not think of this one. He's dead on. Val Sweeting's squad with Val and Dana Ferguson.
Oh.
Much more recent. Excellent call there. You don't win anything for that, Adam, but that is the correct call. That's about as competitive as it gets there.
Well, we can buy a raffle ticket for him or something.
Straight peel made there by Anna O'Hara.
Nicely done.
Oh, I'm upset I didn't think of that.
Well, it's all right.
I might
Just
get
come
some
up with
grief from Dana or Val next time I see him.
Straight, if any, straight a little bit, yep.
I think you had thought of that. It just you didn't want to share it too soon.
No, I didn't. I won't take credit for that.
I'm trying to help you out here.
Yeah.
Just wait,
I can't do it.
Make sure it gets the center. Make sure it gets the center. Yep, push,
Another good guard here. And, despite that hog rock to start the end, a well played end by Team Workin trying to generate a steal. After a little bit of thinking, Delaney Strouse electing to play the peel once again with Anna O'Hara's second. Just cleaning this one in. Another well-thrown shot.
It's good.
All
We
right.
got all right.
Let's see
Unless we play
This
like
is
a
decision time
what
now.
they come up with here.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout on this as well. Very important shot in this game
I don't know.
for Team Workin.
Should we do one more? Okay.
Electing the guard again.
First thing I was, yeah.
I'm not sure really where you go in the
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
So I think I agree. I'm
mind
trying
on
to come
this
up with
one.
a better
Yeah,
spot
next one I
at
think we
this
have to
point.
think about it.
You're
I
already
agree.
shot rock, mostly buried.
2 is great, right?
Strauss could come off of her own to move that stone. They could raise their own back if it's open, or possibly chip it out with an intern. But I think a tight guard is probably your best option at this
I
point.
was thinking, would you ever freeze the top yellow 8 foot?
Just 2.
That's a little dangerous because if you line it up wrong and it drags, they're both gone immediately and your end is over. I think the plan of action may be if Strauss does peel this guard again, that you come and freeze to your own from the back of the foot on the last shot.
Okay.
But I don't think that would have been the play on the first.
Right.
Give them two
Right.
cracks at clearing both.
Great.
Looks like Strauss is thinking she wants to go after this with this in-off right now. This is a little dangerous because if you don't make it with that center guard up there, now you're looking at possibly giving up a steal of 2.
Yep.
So I don't know that this would be the call for me. I think I'd still peel because you should have a shot to score no matter what if you peel that off.
Yep. Can't hide anywhere. That yellow one is in a great spot for Team Strauss. Team Workin tries to go around it. It's either short tap.
The aggressive play continues from Delaney Strouse, trying to play this in off. This is curling hard early. Only rolls a little bit, so Workin still shot rock. And now maybe they play that hit and roll in off that stone.
Yeah, they could now. Now that the rock's a little bit higher, they can come in off of that without hitting their own red.
Yeah, you accomplished 2 goals with that too. Not only do you get a second counter in, but you take away Strauss's ability to play that same in off.
Yep.
Looks like they're playing it pretty soft with that broom. I don't think the weight really matters a lot for this shot. A flatter roll is a better one, but because it's a rock higher, they still should be able to roll in, be buried without moving their own stone out of count. And that's the key. If you bump your own, then you're still only sitting 1.
Right. Yep. Wants to get in there without really moving that red. Looks like she can move it. 1 or 2, maybe. Rather just get in there clean, though.
10-3.
Nice double peel by Lexi Lanigan on the sheet
Stay close.
next to us. In the meantime,
Push it, Benny.
Big
another
shot
one of
here.
Duluth's own. We got to make sure we give her
Yep.
props on that too.
That's fair.
Trying to carve this to get it to go and will not. So immediate call for the double from Delaney Strouse to play for 2 here. Probably want to take a little bit more time lining this one up than rush the other end. This is one where that's not pace. That's rushing a little bit.
Yeah. It's pretty thin, too. I mean, talking about, the score here is monstrous.
Might be worth
And now coming back down to look at it a little more.
Yeah. I mean, if you just score here, hit and roll in, or just draw in there to the back one if you like.
Yeah,
You're
they're
up 2 after 8. Great
You're
spot to
also
be.
sitting second right now. So if you just play to draw and touch that back stone, you get 2.
Yep.
That broom, it looks like they're just playing the hit and roll in. 1 point is a big score here to get a 2-point lead to the 9th. But yeah, I wouldn't mind playing the draw tap on that stone. If you throw it with maybe back 4 type of weight and just sweep for that line, if it does over curl, you still probably bump your own in for shot.
Yep. If it hangs, you could still play the in off of the corner one. It just seems like you have a lot of ways you could.
I think she is possibly playing that shot, actually. It just, she had broom next to that stone, but I think they are playing the tap. Sweeping to get by. Really close.
Oh,
they
well,
get
there
it
you
there
go.
for 2.
All right.
Perfectly done.
Outstanding
What a
shot.
Great shot by Delaney Strouse.
I wonder
So
if
they
she
were
went
playing
down.
it full time.
I wonder if she went down there and maybe somebody on the front end said, "You don't like the draw."
Oh, that's 100% the right shot in that situation, and perfectly executed, perfectly swept.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
Big 2 points for Team Strouse. They go up 6-3 after 8 ends over Team Workin.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
On to the 9th end in our feature game tonight. Draw number 2, the 2023 Women's USA Curling National Championships. Team Strouse at 1-0, looking to get to 2-0 with a 6-3 lead after 8 ends over 0-1 Team Workin. Workin looking to get multiple point end here and possibly give themselves a chance in the 10th to win this game. First draw right to the top of the 8 foot by Rebecca Rogers for Team Strouse. Christina Lammers now going to a corner guard.
Yep. Sure. Yep. Just gotta finish.
Corner guard is well done there from Lammers. Strouse calling for the tap. Just want to move this up maybe a foot and a half, Doug. Not too far. Don't need a ton of separation.
Putting the second one in the rings. Don't want any more guards.
And also key here too, because these rocks will be as high as the 8 foot, you don't want to be short and stagger them off, which in essence creates another guard stagger to go behind in the house. So very important that there's enough weight to separate these and not leave them cornered on each other.
Yep. Good angle, good weight.
And as I say that,
yeah.
There's your stagger.
There it is.
May drag a little bit. Not sure if they're close enough to or not, but not a terrible result. Looks like Workin is electing to hit these stones and try to roll under the corner. And Doug, I'd like to see a little better use for this stone with possibly another guard.
Yeah, it's a pretty precise shot.
Rolls to cornered on that yellow stone. But being in the house now, Strouse will be able to hit it.
Okay.
She'll be just fine losing her own stone if she has to. As long as the shooter sticks around in the house. And even if everything rolled out, still wouldn't be terrible with only one guard in play and a 3-point lead.
Agreed, not end of the world there.
Just playing solid enough weight that you make sure the red one goes is the most important thing.
Yep. Lose your red, likely losing your yellow. As you said, try to roll that yellow away. Well done.
That'll be just fine.
Yep, great shot.
One thing that is a positive for Team Workin in this situation is that rock being in the top of the 12-foot will serve as much as a guard for them as something that's in front of the rings at this point.
Six, 7. 5, 6. Okay.
Back 8, back line.
Right now, it'd be nice.
Looking to come around the corner.
Here, back. 13-2. Okay.
Clip that one, but.
Okay.
Unfortunately, just a little heavy.
Straight through, and that's going to make things difficult for a multiple point end for Team Workin. And we've said it a lot of times already this week, and we'll continue to because it keeps happening. That center line track on this ice, on our Nationals ice, and this is a consistent thing we've seen over the years, always lightning fast. And you expect the center line going inside out to be, crosses that one and jams it in the meantime. It's an interesting result. You expect it to be faster on that straight center line going inside out, but even more so with Sean Olison's ice in the past, Dave Stavitag's ice, same thing. We always played for that line to be almost a second faster with a hog-to-hog time, even a half second at the least on that track.
3-4.
So maybe the door open here for a multiple point end again for Team Workin.
Pretty close to that other one.
Come down. It needs to move.
Going to go to a corner guard.
Really needs to
Like
move.
to see this
4.
sit, not get too tight.
Sit, baby, sit.
Looks like it may come all the way in.
Yep. Let's get it.
That same path.
Yeah, really quick line there.
8-5.
Sometimes it's just
Alright,
hard to
just 8-5.
convince
They'll
yourself
come
that
out
it
pretty
is
quick
that
here.
fast on that
You
line.
got it.
And that was probably 10 feet less weight than the one on the last one, even at that.
Yep.
So open double for Anna O'Hara. Really like to clear both of these and put the clamps down on this end. Just hairs the second one. Will it spin out?
We'll get all
That's
of them out.
just enough.
Great shot.
Good shot. Good sweep to get that to turn over a little bit too.
Yep.
But yes, good shot by Anna O'Hara.
Lost the shooter as well, which is great. Doesn't give team Workin anywhere to hide.
All going according to plan now for Team Strouse to defend.
Yep, make sure we're there.
Trying to get anything over in this area where there could be a possible jam. Rock is more than a rock off the rings, but it's possible it could hit,
That's fine.
spill
Nice
back
looking,
in
you guys.
towards the rings. Not sure if that one's on the paint or not, but makes no difference to Delaney Strouse. Still going to try to hit it. Get the update on the other sheets. Madison Bear leading Christine McMakin 6-4 on sheet A. Explosion of points on sheet B after those first three blanks now. 4-2, Sarah Anderson leading over Shield. And sheet D, Tabitha Peterson with a final 9-3 over Kim Rhyme. Tab gets to 2-0 after a hard-fought victory this morning against Team Bear, where really they were outplayed for a good portion of that game. But that's what champions do. Stick around until they can figure it out.
Pick up their game
there from Anna O'Hara as well. Now leaving a tight corner for Team Workin to use, so a glimmer of hope. I think if you ask just about any competitive curler, they would say that they lost more of those tight battles than they won. Because you always seem to remember those more.
Oh, there's no question. No question.
Somebody has to win those games.
We're still 8. Okay.
This rock needs to hit the brakes to stay in the house too. Might stop for a biter. That's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, that'll work.
Good play by Ann Puddle.
Maybe 2.
I think for Delaney Strouse here, you don't want to let the ice come into play here. Just throw peel, make contact, get rid of that stone. No reason to try to stick around.
Yep. Yeah, and could even play it if you wanted to play it tight, and worst case you hit that yellow guard. It's okay too.
Delaney Strouse playing peel. Just looking to make contact with this stone. That'll be just fine. Well thrown.
Yep.
And a smart play there too, not overcomplicating that shot. Once you get in the outside of the sheet, things can get a little dicey with if it takes a hard turn towards the boards. But just throwing peel, not worrying about the ice. Throw it that hard, you're not going to have to worry about it too much. And well thrown by Delaney, especially with those types of shots, Doug. It's either made or missed out of your hand for the most part.
Yep.
Sweeping's not doing very much there.
Yep. No, she's thrown some great shots.
Another attempt now. Rachel Workin trying to bury as much as she can underneath that wide corner. Working on the straighter turn. It still will curl on this line going inside out, but.
And that's a big thing. Just bury as much as you can, even if it's behind the tee. You want to hide as much as you can.
Yep, line straight, guys. Gotta go. Hard straight. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Really trying to hammer the stone to get it onto the paint, but looks as though it's going to end up short. He handed a note that Riz on YouTube has started a long debate going back and forth about possibly coming out the other side on draws. Not sure what shot we're talking about with that, but one reason that you'd want to rock to over curl and come out the other side is to cut off the opposing team's ability to play on that side of it. But yeah, really could be a lot of things depending on what shot we're playing. So we need that to come in more timely, Cam, so we know what we're talking about, so we can answer it for me.
Yeah.
Promise is we're paying attention, but I would assume it was when we were talking about eliminating the hit and roll for Team Workin on a rock that was poking out. So if it over curls, they take away that hit and roll. So that's the best we can come up with for that one. We want to keep people engaged. That's a good thing.
That's it.
Strouse happy to play this come around draw and try to get a force or a steal. Much rather be up 2 with the hammer than up 3 without, if you do give up the blank, but it looks like Rachel Workin is going to be content to draw for her 1 point, go down 2 without. This is a risk-reward situation again, Doug, where maybe you can't see a ton of that stone, but I would much rather have to try to score 3 with 5 rock rule than try to steal 2 even with the no tick rule.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that.
Right to the pin.
Just
It will be an in-turn draw for Rachel Workin. Just
6-7.
trying to get a good piece of the 8-foot.
Gotta go. Really gotta go. Yep. Drake it. Gotta go. Hard. Yep, hard.
Sweeper's going hard on this one too, trying to get to the 8-foot circle for that point. Looks like should be able to get there.
Yeah, well swept.
All right.
So Workin does take the 1 point, and Delaney Strouse will have a 2-point lead and the hammer going to the 10th end of this women's draw.
The everyday person may not aspire to be a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. You may just want to be the best person you can be. You just may want to sleep better. You may want to feel better. Thorne has many products that can support all of those things. So it's not just about performing or running faster or jumping higher. It's those little things that go into having a higher quality of life.
Tenth end of draw number 2, our feature game between Delaney Strouse and Rachel Workin. Strouse leading 6-4. This is Tyler George with Doogie Kaufman.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
We finished her up with the proper nickname.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Now everybody will know who it actually is that's talking.
You think people were thinking, who's this Doug guy?
No clue. You could have said Connor's dad. That probably would have done it, but nope. Doug, nope. There's a Doogie, but there's no Doug.
I used to get that a lot in my early days in curling. Who's that? That's Courtney's brother. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was at an event. I forget which event it was. And somebody came up to me. It was one of Connor's event. And go, oh, are you Connor's dad? I'm like, no. That's my son.
Let's
I'm
make
not
this
Connor's
real
dad.
clear.
Yeah, he's my son.
On the bright side, you do get to take all the credit for everything he does going forward.
Whether it be deserved or not.
There
Oh, there
we
we
go.
go. There it is.
Doogie Kaufman. in the
Now
booth.
you're gonna be overrun with people tuning in now.
Ratings just skyrocketed
there
for the
we
10th
go.
end of this game. Strouse with a nice come-around draw to the top of the 4-foot. Again, with no tick rule, Doogie. They are not able to move that stone off of the center line until later on in the end.
2. A little tighter. Yep, keep her moving.
What a great, I really like the no tick.
Yep, let's get some distance.
I don't know how you feel about it, but
All right, go ahead and
teams
push
getting
the center.
so good at making that tick shot that
Yeah, nice.
that I really like that rule. I didn't think initially. I thought, you know what? If you're good enough to make that tick shot as much as you do, you deserve to be able to play it. But you know, after seeing the no tick rule and the kind of more offense because of it, I'm actually a big fan.
Well, the two things that we've learned in our research and our surveys that we've done too with players. Number one, that there don't seem to be a lot of players that, especially at the elite level, that dislike no tick. There's a lot of players that are indifferent, and there's a lot that like it. But we haven't had a lot of negative feedback with no tick. And the second thing was that so far the stats have played out that the win-loss records of teams with hammer tied up in the last end or without hammer tied up
Little
last
taps,
end,
not bad.
the win percentage really hasn't changed very much, but the difficulty level of the final shots of the game has. And if that's the case, if it doesn't alter the competitive balance of the game and the wins and losses, but it does create more interest in that final end and makes it more fun to watch, that's the perfect case scenario.
I totally agree. That's great.
So hopefully that continues to bear out that way.
Yeah.
And already, obviously, this 10th end, even with the 2-point
Line's
lead
really
for
nice,
Strauss,
guys. Yep, line.
and two, again, perfect shots
4-5.
from Rebecca Rogers, who's really been strong.
Yep, you got it. Hold it.
They had to
Hold
play
it,
in the
hold it.
house instead of playing those
Hard,
ticks,
hold
so
it.
we're going to have more rocks in play and have a more interesting
Straight,
10th to
straight,
watch.
straight. Keep on it, keep on it. Yep. Whatever you got. Yep.
Really nice shots from Christina
Really nice.
Lammers
Great
as
space,
well.
guys.
And now Anya Normando with the freeze underneath, so 5 pretty much perfectly made shots.
Yeah, it's made 10th ends way more interesting.
Our friend TJ Hamilton tweets out, waiting for the new curling morning drive time show, Tyler and the Duke. I like that.
Loads of trivia. Loads of
They
trivia.
say, teach me how to doogie.
Oh man, are you showing your age now?
And we could have had a lot more fun with this earlier in the game.
Just push us to like back 12 and sit on this.
So those stones only
back
moving
line to
one
hack.
off, clearing the rock in the house, so it ended up a decent result for Team Strauss, but still 2 center guards. Team working with an opportunity to make this interesting. A lot of interesting texts and messages coming in now, and some of them I can't even bring up.
Yeah, here we go.
Sorry, straight. Yep, straight.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine and former teammate from a fairly recent event. It's really cracking me in the booth right now. I will not mention who it is.
Whoa.
It's nobody from John Schuster's team.
Okay, it was just a little upboard. 11-9.
Okay.
So now moving those stones around, this gets a little more interesting.
It's
That
made it
4-foot
very
circle
interesting.
is accessible for Team Workin. Strauss wisely looking at peeling, and if they can move both of those center guards, that's great, but really need to make sure that the shooter clears out. Take away any opportunity for a steal of 2. Looks like it'll just be a clean peel of 1. That's just fine. That's pro side.
Yep. Shot there. Wow.
I almost feel like we need to come in, but do you like one more?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You guys like that? Coming around the guard.
What if we
Yeah.
play it more tight?
Okay.
Decision time again for Rachel Workin on
No, let's
where
go
to
high.
position this stone.
Guard.
Looking at
Guard.
probably the high guard again, and I think I might agree with that.
Certainly
Considering
intriguing.
coming in,
You've got 2 yellows that are just behind the tee line. Not in the center, but touching the 4-foot. You've got a red top 8 rock. Could be used later.
2, 1, 2, 1.
Cap,
Where?
guard,
If it's 3, let's be
and
4.
a center guard.
Yep, gotta go straight if we're gonna make it by.
You have another final
Okay,
right
roll
now
those.
on
Dead nose.
sheet B.
Push, push, push.
This is though Sarah Anderson pulls out the victory on the last shot against Team Shield. Good to see our World Junior reps playing strong and right there with the top women's teams in the country.
Great to see. Guard came a little bit too deep. Ended up right next to the other one.
So another peel attempt and hoping to get both of these off and roll the shooter. That's well done.
That is well done. Great shot.
Very nice shot by Anna O'Hara. That could be a game winner there, Doogie. That's keeping the middle open. Not a
You
whole
like this
lot
now?
of danger now for Team
Just a
Strouse.
Yeah.
Little unfortunate on that guard from Team Workin and put all that ended up cornering on that stone and making the double peel a little more accessible.
Looking to freeze the inside.
I like this
Part
call.
of the yellow.
This is
Yeah.
a good creative call, playing
Yeah.
around the outside of that stone to a freeze. Really good job of thinking outside the box by Rachel Workin to play this shot.
Would like to freeze a little bit on the inside, so if
Yep.
Team Strouse
Yep,
decides to play those
Yep, line's
reds,
real nice.
try to make the double. Want to make sure that the second one doesn't
Yep.
go anywhere.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know that this
Okay.
draw is going to get there, but again,
Yeah,
thought
push,
process
push,
is correct. Trying to
good,
come up
that's
with
good.
something where they can't
Okay.
remove both stones, and then maybe you're playing a freeze again on your next one.
Yep.
If you can possibly make them throw against 3 on the last, that's how you could possibly get that tie.
Well, that's pretty much all you can ask for. You can force a team to do that.
Is a nose double available for Team Strouse. And I don't think there's any danger of a jam unless it really papers that red one straight sideways. Should be relatively safe that goes right between the two, but
Yeah, the
interesting
trick
that
is
they're playing the other turn now too.
well, and the trick is if she does nose double, then there's a rock that Team Workin could go behind and try that freeze again if they wish.
So Anna O'Hara trying to clear both of these red stones, make things a little easier on her skip for the last couple. Hanging a little bit, trying to get it to come up. Only gets the top, but does roll off, doesn't leave anything
Try
to
it
go
again. We
behind.
gotta almost be shot over that, right? Oh, no, we don't. I guess we can always tap that later. Right.
Working now, measuring options on which to freeze to. Looks like she's playing the same freeze as before. I think this is the correct shot.
I agree.
And I think you'd see a lot of times with
a little
more
slower on
inexperienced
this one
teams
now?
that they'd look
Yeah.
at that and say,
Okay.
well, we need to tap that red one up to the freeze.
this is too much
But
ice
this
cream.
draw is it's an easier way to get
Go
there. You
just a
don't
touch
have to
tighter.
hit a very precise spot to make that tap.
Yeah,
Much
really.
better way to get there.
You're
So
looking at like a
good
4-0
thinking
to
again by
just
Rachel
slightly
Workin.
tap it?
Yep, because if you tap it, you have to tap and freeze it. Two difficult shots that even on their own, but
That's still too much ice?
together
I think it'll
have to
come.
be really good.
Workin's in turn draw now, going out wide, trying to freeze on that Team Strouse counter just behind the tee line. I think the line's pretty close.
Forward! Forward!
Sweeping to get by now. Did they overcook it? Oh, just squeaks by. That's a very good shot.
That's well done there. Had to sweep it to get it around that red one.
Yeah, there is a slash to lose both, but with the angle set up the way they are now, if it overcurls just a little bit, both reds could stay in.
Yeah, there's a spot to leave both too. Yep.
Yeah, that's just a really good shot by Rachel Workin. Evan, I know you're watching. You should be proud of that one. Call and the shot. So maybe 2/3 of a stone here. Doogie somewhere close to there.
He just really wants to make sure she hits the inside.
Yeah, anything wide side that clears one and you're in good shape. Worst case, you should have a peel out on your last for the win.
Yep.
So don't get overly aggressive on this.
Yep.
Doesn't look like that's going to be a problem. And does make the double, indeed.
Boy, she's thrown some great shots tonight.
That's a great finish. Yeah, big shot shooter. Delaney Strouse. That will make the final 6-4. Team Strouse with the victory over Rachel Workin. And Doogie, I really have to give credit to Rebecca Rogers setting her team up almost every single end. We don't have any stats in front of us, but certainly seemed like she was on her game with her draw weight, setting things up. Team Strouse really finding ways out of a few jams too, but I give Team Workin credit to rally in that game, come back, make it interesting, and turn a few ends around to put some pressure on Team Strouse too. So fun game to watch.
Great game to watch. Looking forward to the rest of the week. It's going to be fantastic.
And that will do it for tonight's feature game. Again, Strouse 6, Workin 4. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. For Tyler George and the Doogie Kaufman.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Two Kaufmans today. What a day for the crowds. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the morning.